subscribe to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to be comparing Gran Turismo Sport, last generation, and Gran Turismo 7 PS5 version. There are a lot of changes that I wasn't aware of. It doesn't look like it on the surface or a quick glance, but we're going to get into the minutia of everything. Let's get it. Right off the bat, what you will probably notice is that the game is a lot clearer. It is a 4K native game, so that is definitely going to benefit the visuals. Not only that, but they've incorporated motion blur for everything. That's off the bat, right? Realize that this game is doing things, Gran Turismo 7, in real time lighting, dynamic cloud coverage, dynamic weather. All of that is done in real time, and it looks better than Gran Turismo Sport to boot. As you can see here, the foliage and trees are at and we'll get into this later, it is at a lower fidelity. It is very, very low quality in terms of that. And of course, you didn't have that much memory budget with the PS4 or PS4 Pro, so you would expect these things. I almost forgot too, because I recorded this earlier, that the reflections in the game are actually a lot higher in Gran Turismo 7. Not only that, but the game runs a little better as well. So we're getting a lot of bang for our buck. As you can see in third person, we start to see things in a more, it covers more. You can see more with the third person perspective. Also, there's been a lot of improvements with the physics as well. It is a lot more dynamic. As you can see here, the car almost is glued to the track. It almost feels like an arcade game. So I was pretty surprised with that. Overall, you're going to get a lot of dynamic effects with Gran Turismo 7, on top of the fact that it is looking better. You almost could be fooled by the fact that the lighting effects is in general, the lighting, they're just handled so much, it's so much care with Polyphony Digital, so don't forget that too. But everything is at a much higher fidelity in terms of the textures, the models, which we'll get into later. Motion blur, it runs better. There's ray tracing, but that's only for photo mode. And we'll take a look at that. So in this particular case, you can see the subsurface scattering for the foliage, the trees, the leaves, and things like that for Gran Turismo 7. So you'll see that there's also a lot of blades of grass that are covered on the sides of the road. And I can't imagine what Gran Turismo 8 or the next Gran Turismo will look like, because it's like a stopgap in between last generation and what we can expect now. You can see here they have the glare. Some people don't like it, some people like it. It has a much more realistic view. And then just a sense of speed and everything like that. But look at the density of the trees in the background. Absolutely insane when you compare it to Gran Turismo Sport, which we're about to do. The thing is, the foliage in the background is actually pretty chunky and gives the illusion that there's a lot of coverage there in general. I like the fact that Gran Turismo 7 actually has a more natural, realistic lighting. But look at this. You can see the coverage of the trees. Pretty chunky stuff. You didn't really pay attention to it because you were going by, but there's a lot more also. I almost forgot this too. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background. Pedestrians are doing different things. They're of a higher quality. So right now, what we're about to do is compare. We're going to slow it down. So if you missed it the first time, now you get like more of a time to look at how dense everything is, which is pretty crazy. Now, as we turn the bend, you can see how dense Gran Turismo 7 is and how detailed it is versus Sport, which you can see here, especially if you have a 4K TV or you're on YouTube at 4K. That type of stuff is crazy. You can even see the frame rate hiccups as well as we're turning here. But yeah, side by side, the lighting is a lot more dynamic. We're going to compare the two, and you can see how sparse things could look last generation's Gran Turismo. And then now you can really see not only is it sparse, but it's not as detailed. Pretty amazing stuff. Now, when we start to look closer and see what's going on, take a look at this, right? Look at the ground textures here. Much higher resolution. They have a higher budget when it comes to textures. So leaning into this, you can see the resolution for the textures are really high. Um, the cube map that's mixed with the ray tracing is actually a lot higher, and then you can see actually the brake calibers and uh, uh, the brake disc is a lot higher polygons. Pretty crazy stuff. There's the ray tracing. You can see the mirror reflecting off of itself. This is Gran Turismo Sport. Almost has you because the lighting is so damn good. But as you look at the textures, you can see they're a little bit more chunky, a little bit more low res. So they can't. When you go close, you start to see that the illusion starts to fall apart. But this is what kills me. Look how blocky the brake calibers are and the brake discs. You know what I'm saying? So the wheels didn't get that love that they should have gotten. But thank you for watching my video. Leave a like if you liked it. I'm out.